Oh, man. Shalom, shalom, shalom. What up? Make you want to cut up. What's the business with you today, huh? Everybody doing good today. Not now. We're here ready to do the next session of reading with Shiloh. We back at it, man. We read 2 last night or early this morning. So we at it right now. We're gonna get another two under our belt. We're gonna read about Miss Celestine, Dr. Marie F. Celestine, and also Mr. Martin Davis. Mr. Martin Davis and Dr. Marie F. Celestine. So we definitely gonna see what they talking about on this episode of Reading with Me, Shiloh. I'm out here. Ain't gonna be out here. Lost by life. Yeah, so we are in Who Blessed You? Speaking to the Children of Israel, curated by George Frazier, Stan Matthews, and Azaniah Israel. Who blessed you? Who blessed you? 20 empowering stories of wisdom, love, and salvation. Do you have these stories for yourself? Because they got them, and they telling them to us. So we're going to see what they talking about. We're going to see what they talking about. You know, 2 people at a time. 2 people at a time. We're going to send them like the unclean people. 2 by 2. The unclean animals on the ark. 2 by 2. Until we through. We moving along pretty smoothly. Oh, Lord, yes, sir. Oh, Lord.
I got 2 oranges.
Yes, you want them?
No, sir. I just looking at them. I just said, you got 2 oranges. Well, I don't know how you got them. You must have just picked them outside or something.
Well, I got them in the refrigerator, boy. What you talking about? I know where the refrigerator is. I got a refrigerator. I love you, my son.
I love that.
You feeling okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you finished with your schoolwork?
Not yet. I'm coloring them.
Oh, okay. You almost done?
Hey.
What about you? You done too?
Not yet.
Oh, my boy. Oh, my boy. I love you too, son. They about to read, though. Hey, my boy. Oh, my boy. Oh, my boys. I got boys. Oh, I got some sons. Oh, my boy. Finish your work, my boy. Finish your work. Hey, after you finish that one, it's your turn. Put yours on. All right. So, let's read about Dr. Marie F. Celestine. What up, what up? How y'all doing? Shalom, everybody. How y'all doing? We're going to get into it. We're going to get into Who Blessed You? Who blessed you? I know the Most High blessed me. I got hugs from my boys. Oh, Lord, I love it. Dr. Marie F. Celestine, Planting Seeds of Freedom, a legacy birthed by Haitian women. Stories, whether within the family of folk tales or just spirituality and rituals, are so important to survival, to continuity. We're connected by our stories. Edwidge Danticant. Danticant. I am the celestial daughter of Haitian immigrants, raised by strong, hardworking, resilient women. My grandmother, affectionately named Adora, my mother, Janine Celestine, and my aunt, Margaret Tant Margaret. I come from a lineage of liberators, freedom fighters, healers, birthed by matriarchs who sacrifice themselves so I can live freely and fiercely, get educated to thrive wherever I go. I inherited their incomparable work ethic and strong will to excel despite life circumstances. Black excellence and wealth are my birthrights. I get to manifest my ancestors' wildest dreams because of their unshakable resilience and courage. I am a limitless being because of them. I'm often asked indirectly and not so subtly, where are you from? Depending on the date, I'll say where I currently live when I was born, or where I was born, or give a vague answer. I discovered early on as a young woman that every room I entered and leave, I announced in silence a part of who I am. She up there be like, "What up, baby? I'm out you." I describe myself as human first, daughter, sister, scholar practitioner, poet, activist, multi-passionate creative, nurturer, and infinite learner. I'm Haitian American, raised and educated in success in Boston, rooted in my heritage in the Afro-Caribbean diaspora. My aunt and grandmother raised my middle sister and me after my mother moved to the U.S. And years later, as preteens, we both immigrated to Boston to reunite with her. In retrospect, this is the first time I started feeling out of place and being treated unfairly as an exotic alien. The human thing to do as a girl then was to retreat and put on a mask until I pieced myself back together. As an introvert, books were my sanctuary and made me feel connected to a bigger world beyond my neighborhood. Being a book lover even led me to my very first after-school job in a neighborhood library. Every experience, relationship, and community is connected to my evolution as a Haitian-born girl, discovering myself, my voice, my purpose, and place in this world. All praise. Boston is the first U.S. city I ever lived in and put down roots there for my family, education, personal, professional career, and growing community life. Although it took me years to get acclimated to living in a cold cast-like city with little sunshine, palm trees, and mangoes. The first few years, I missed everything about living on an island surrounded by people who look like me and speak the same language. My yearning for home led me to my first loves, poetry and music. I was immersed in the written words and lyrics to make the sense of what I was going through and a heightened level of isolation even surrounded by family. I had no one to express the depth of my homesickness. And at home, my mother primarily spoke Haitian Creole. Back then, I wrote in both French and English as I was still learning a new language. I was constantly translating everything in my head before speaking at home and at school. I poured my heart out on paper about everything that I couldn't say aloud. It was what I call poetic storytelling, the intentional and sacred habit of writing about my lived experiences. My love of words helped me find wonder, comfort, and safety between the pages of my favorite books. As I got older, I recognized the power of cultivating intentional community and chosen family. I've been fortunate to have had many invaluable mentors, advisors, supporters, and friends who saw the potential in me before I did. Lessons that they taught me are priceless and more relevant as I grow more into who I am. I didn't realize how much that they taught me until our lives were disrupted by geography, modern day busyness, or tragedy. I'm grateful for their guidance and lessons learned that continue to help me navigate this ever-changing world. In addition to the newfound community, I learned the most memorable lessons from my family. My grandmother and aunt taught me about unconditional love and what it means to feel safe and belong. As strong and brave Haitian women, they were inherently selfless matriarchs, caregivers, nurturers, and providers who put the needs of their families and communities first. Their sacrifices, despite danger and struggles, paved the way for every member of our family to have a better life in Haiti and abroad. My grandmother, affectionately called Idora, treated me like an angel, her angel, who can do no wrong in her eyes. She beamed with joy every time I walked through her home and spent time with her. Like many women of her generation, she birthed more than 10 children and raised more than 20 grandchildren. Her home in Haiti, although modest, was always filled with family, friends, and children from the neighborhood. She was either at home cooking, sewing, gardening, at church, or at the market selling goods from her garden. She inspired my love of plants and to grow my own food. And since our kitchen was outdoors, no food scraps were wasted. As she prepared vegetables to be cooked, she would throw the seeds in one area of our backyard, and I was in awe just watching her in her element. She seemed the happiest while humming her favorite songs and harvesting the fruits of her labor, and then feeding us and the whole neighborhood. Despite always being surrounded by children and family members, she made me feel special just being myself. Her love for me was manifested on a plate of rice and beans, fried plantains, and pork grilled with pickles. Whatever that is. I miss those treasured moments with her after I immigrated to America. Our closeness was not diminished by distance, and the years were spent apart. Sadly, I never saw her again until I returned to Haiti for her funeral. And despite her transition, there is a deep knowing that I'm still her angel, and she is mine, watching over me. Every time I'm in my own garden now, especially when tending to my vegetables and flowers, I can feel her near. Similar to my grandmother, my aunt made me feel wanted, like one of her own children and a rightful member of her family. Her non-negotiable expectations of me were to get good grades in school, respect my elders, and stay out of trouble. And as long as I followed those rules while under her roof, I remained her beloved daughter niece. She was intentional in treating me and my sister like we were her own. In addition to being a mom and aunt, she was a registered nurse and an entrepreneur ahead of her time. Back then, she still wore the official white nurse uniform with the cap and shoes to match. And although she worked long hours and often came home exhausted after her shifts, she was proud of her professional achievements. In hindsight, she was the first woman in our family with a side hustle alongside a full-time job. One defining quality that we have in common is her strong work ethic and commitment to the well-being of her people. She worked 5 days a week at the local hospital in Haiti while raising 4 children, taking care of the aging parents and other primary breadwinner. She was also an active community member who enjoyed going to church, and she lived faithfully and supported her extended family despite facing many adversities. As an immigrant girl, there may still be the case today, limited career paths that encouraged me to become a nurse or a teacher. I clearly understood my aunt's dedication to nursing, but I'm not really sure she chose it. Watching her work so hard for years with barely any time for herself, juggling family life, made me realize that nursing was not my future. Plus, I didn't like the smell of hospitals, and they made me think of death. And ironically, after college, I started working at a medical center as a health educator and quickly learned that there are many roles besides nursing and doctor in a hospital setting. Before she passed away, my aunt assured me that as long as I remain a student with a good job and take care of myself and my family, I will make her proud. Her spirit is still guiding me, especially during times of uncertainty. She taught me so many valuable life lessons that are still helping me navigate this ever-changing world. The first lesson is to trust my instinct and my quiet way of being. She recognized my love of books and encouraged me to stay curious and explore my academic interests. And there are times I doubted myself and felt inadequate for not having all the answers. And through her guidance, I gave myself grace to define what success meant to me and pursue careers that were in alignment with who I wanted to become. It was important to me not to disappoint her after everything she had done for me, for us to have a better life in America. She gave me permission to make bold moves, even when I was scared, and trust my gut no matter what. Like my grandmother and those before her, she's been tested many times, but she always bounced back and ensured she found a way to rise above her circumstances. I inherited her resilience and determination to grow through it all. I was born from a people and a country that fought for every ounce of freedom. Women who risked everything to afford me the privileges to reimagine a limitless future. Similar to my grandmother and aunt, my mother's core values were her faith, family, and work ethic. She worked tirelessly and held multiple jobs until she became ill and was forced to retire early. I now keenly know the sacrifices that my mother made for me to be here and have access to more opportunities than she did. One of her favorite sayings was, "There is a season for everything." And you've had many seasons where we struggled and other periods filled with special occasions like weddings and birthdays. Because of her, I became a nonprofit founder, college graduate, and serial entrepreneur, best-selling author, and wellness expert while making a positive impact in the world. And since her passing, the meaning of her favorite saying resonates with me more deeply. Every day is sacred and a chance to start over with grace and gratitude. The lessons that I learned and now apply daily from my grandmother, Adora, Tonti, Margaret, and my mother, Janine, will guide me for a lifetime. The values they instilled have molded me into the person I'm unbecoming and becoming to live a life by design in alignment with my divine purpose. Every day I'm strengthened by their spirit, memories, knowing they're always with me. Their collective influence has given me the power to grow seeds of freedom, my own legacy, and that of generations to come. I'm infinitely possible because of them. Favorite quotes. I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I'm changing the things I cannot accept. Angela Davis. Knowing how to be solitary is central to the art of loving. When we can be alone, we can be with others without using them as a means of escape. Bell Hooks. Thank you to Mr. Stan Matthews and Dr. George C. Frazier for the opportunity to be a featured contributor in this amazing book. I'm grateful for the coaching, mentorship, and support that I've received from MBN. We truly are stronger when we work together. I honor my late grandmother, mother, and aunt who raised me to believe in and tap into my limitless potential. To our good ancestors, foremothers, freedom fighters, truth tellers, artists, and change makers who paved the way for women like me to live freely, create boldly, and tell our stories authentically. The circle of friends, family members, teachers, healers, plant lovers, coaches, creatives, entrepreneurs, second life friends, light workers, and allies who have contributed to my success is too long to share their names here. You've inspired me to grow more into myself and share my innate gifts with the world. I'm no longer playing small and dimming light because I'm more grounded in who I am and fiercely affirm that I am here on purpose for a purpose. To Maxim, the love of my life, you're my epic why for dreaming bigger and creating an abundant life as part of our legacy. A special acknowledgement to my sisters, Cassandra and Christine, who are building their legacy of their own terms, on their own terms. Like the phenomenal women who influenced me, I admire their determination and work ethic. Freedom in our DNA. I'm appreciative of two brave women who've been in my life since I was a young woman. The first is Curleen Augustin, my late mother's friend with a big heart who lovingly checks on me. She's always been kind to all of us since settling in Boston. She is one of my angels on earth who I can count on, especially after my mother transitioned. I honor Gerthy Layens, founder of the Renaissance Project and longtime humanitarian and activist whose dedication to Haiti and its people is unparalleled. Her ability to galvanize people and courage to fight for justice for the Haitian community has inspired me to become a champion for equality. She has partnered with countless individuals and institutions across the globe to ensure Haiti is remembered and the people and culture are celebrated. As my beloved country, she too is a treasure to be revered. I am grateful for so many of you who have connected and reconnected with me, particularly during the pandemic. Words cannot express how much I appreciate you. And to members of the Girls Project, Boston, Wild Black, HAMA, Hama, and her Slayground HOC, and U community, EWE community, you helped me amplify my quiet leadership to a whole new level. My inner circle has fortified my superpowers and purpose on this planet. I get to show you how to joyfully be well through the gift of putting yourself first unapologetically. I'm energized to see the next seeds we plant, grow, and harvest together. Remember, you are worthy of all the goodness. Dr. Marie F. Celestine is a multi-passionate wellness coach, poet, and best-selling author of Planting Seeds, a sacred self-care journal. She featured in One Habit to Thrive in the Post-COVID World. Dr. Celestine is committed to showing women the gift of putting themselves first unapologetically. She intentionally centers lived experiences, worthiness, healthy living, joy, and healing in her transformative coaching practice. She also teaches about the benefit of integrating plants into your wellness journey. She is working on her first collection of poetry. Her publications are available on Amazon. And that was Dr. Dr. Marie F. Celestine. Let's read Mr. Martin Davis. Mr. Martin Davis. Mr. Martin Davis, love, leadership, and inspiration. Love, leadership, and inspiration. Mr. Martin Davis. My mentor, George Grant. Oftentimes, when I reflect upon the early years of my life, I recall that I looked forward to the holidays and summers hanging out with friends on the Coney Island neighborhood of South Brooklyn, New York. One of my favorite pastimes was going to the New York City Youth Services Agency, or the YSA, commonly referred to back then as the Coney Island CI Youth Board. Now, George Grant immediately comes to mind. Mr. Grant, no doubt, was emphatically a person of significant influence in my life and that of many others whom I served while working as a youth counselor for the New York City Youth Services Agency, the YSA, commonly referred to back then as the Coney Island Youth Board, or the CI. Upon his employment, Mr. Grant formulated a club for young males in the elementary and junior high school age group. The group, known as the Junior Archons, was in essence an extension of the existing group of teenagers led by Mr. James C. Jones, Jr., director of the CI Youth Board. known as the archons, a Greek word that means ruler. The archons, archons, known in Greek as the rulers. Let me go ahead. Known as the archons, a Greek word which means ruler. Mr. Jones used basketball as a tool to mentor young men through love, leadership, and inspiration. He taught them how to lead meetings, rise above their circumstances, and be well-respected leaders in their families and communities. Mr. Grant has also espoused these principles to cultivate the lives of youth under his charge. The three ways in which he personally impacted my life are: number one, he demanded that I endeavor to enhance my knowledge and comprehension via exposure to various written bodies of work, fiction, nonfiction, drama, and literature such as poetry. Number two, he encouraged me to be a leader amongst my peers in my community, society at large. And number three, to always remember that to whom much is given, much is required. Mr. Grant introduced members of the Junior Archons to the performing arts, such theatrical productions. Some of my fondest experiences include live theater performed by the Negro Ensemble Company at the Henry Street Settlement House, where many notable members such as John Amos, Moses Gunn, Rosalind Cash, Sherman Hemsley, Roscoe Lee Brown, Esther Roll, Glenn Truman, Clarice Taylor, and many others honed their acting skills. He also introduced a few of us to the musical art form jazz when we experienced a live performance of a blind multi-instrumentalist, Rashawn Roland Kirk, whom I was astounded to witness play 3 hours at once, a tenor saxophone, manzelli, and stretch as a basic part of his tenor saxophone. Basic part of his artistic expression. Yes, sir.
You gotta get those biscuits. You got a lot of biscuits.
No biscuits right now.
You got a lot of biscuits, though.
But I'm not cooking biscuits right now. What am I doing?
Anything? Well, I don't think what have you done? You could cook some biscuits.
Maybe. We'll see about it. Is that how you ask anyway? Mm-hmm. Is that how you ask for the things you want?
Yes, sir.
So how do you ask for the things you want?
Wait, then. Can you but take some biscuits today?
I think we can do that. I don't see why not. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Are you finished with your schoolwork?
But I'm on the end.
Have you finished coloring?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what you mean you're on the end? You have one more left?
Like one more left. On like the end of my name. Okay. I'm on that one.
Okay. So what do you need to do?
Wait.
Yeah, wait one. But if you're not finished your work, what do you need to do?
Keep doing it.
Yes, sir, and finish it. You have to finish what you start. You started it, correct?
Yes, sir.
So therefore you need to finish it. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you can, because you have everything you need to succeed. You have the ability to do it. So therefore you need to do it. Okay?
Okay.
Go do it.
You're trying to you spit on my nose.
Mama, get your nose away from my mouth. Oh, I lost my place. Oh, jazz. There we go. The manzello is essentially a B-flat soprano sax with a curved neck, a straight pipe, and an upturned bell similar to the saxello sold by the H.N. White Company from the mid-1920s until the late 30s. The stritch is a similarly moded E-flat alto, but this time without the usual upturned bell. Now, Rashawn did so constructing distinct counter melodies, paying harmony for himself and pitting rhythm against rhythm, and at the weekend jazz club, the East, club called the East, located at 10 Claver Street in the heart of the Bedford Stuyvesant neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York. During this performance, he also played the flute, the clarinet, the soprano saxophone. Another noteworthy artist that I recall performing that night was Pharoah Sanders. One summer, he demanded that we do something constructive with our time. So we opted to take up photography. The program had a limited budget, but we were able to purchase a few cameras, rolls of 35 millimeter film, and an enlarger to development the film in the darkroom, the chemicals such as developer and fixer to develop film and print pictures. And as a result of this summer project, several individuals went on to become professional photographers. Now, Mr. Grant attended graduate school at Long Island University, and upon graduation became a public school teacher. Now, during his career, he taught English and ultimately was named vice principal at Alexander Hamilton High School, located in Brooklyn, New York, where he continued his influential ways. At Hamilton, Mr. Grant worked with Mr. Raymond Haskins, who previously also was one of my mentors at West 8. Now, Atkin to Mr. Grant, Mr. Haskins was also one of the individuals leaving an indelible impact on the lives of individuals that I have the ability to teach, support, and protect in the workplace. Man. I cherish the fact that these exemplary men and others, such as Jerry Rogers, have impacted my life in a meaningful way. In many respects, my sister, older siblings. In many respects, my sister, Bernadette, was like a second mother to me. She is the oldest of my siblings and always seemed to exhibit a nurturing, influential in my life. It don't sound right, even though that's what it says. Nurturing, influential in my life. Bernadette, or Bonnie, the adult when I reached my teenage years. She graduated from the nursing program at Claire Barton High School in Brooklyn, New York, and began working as a licensed practical nurse at Maimonides Hospital. I'm pronouncing that, Maimonides. Years later, she moved out on her own and got married. I look forward to walking to her house to spend quality time with her during the late afternoon. Upon her arrivals home from work, she would complete crossword puzzles from the daily newspaper while watching the soap opera Dark Shadows on television. I think I remember that. When she gave birth to her first child, Tanny, and subsequently her second daughter, Tasha, she demonstrated a maternal instinct that I always knew that she possessed, as she had been protective of me as if I were her child. Years later, Bonnie decided that it was time to enroll into college while still working in order to become a registered nurse, or RN, as she had missed the widow period to apply and be awarded the RN designation based upon time and service and experience. Thus, she attended and graduated from Long Island University with a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing. And going back to school many years later was no easy task for Bonnie, especially while working and raising a family. And nevertheless, I guess it's supposed to be it. Nevertheless, it was necessary for her to obtain the professional status and pay that she deserved. I am most proud that Bonnie went on to become a surgical operating room nurse at both New York City Hospital and a private affiliate simultaneously, and was able to retire from. I think they're supposed to be retired, not retire. My sister Josephine Teresa, whom family and friends call Terry, is next in line of my siblings. Terry is somewhat influential in my life during my early elementary school years, as she insisted that I follow directions, be respectful, and do well in school. And looking back as an adult, I realized that the disciplinary aspect stems from the incident which occurred when Terry took me to the park and told me to stand in front of the fence while she swung on the swing. I didn't listen and walked around the fence and was stuck behind the corner of Terry's swing below my left eyebrow. That incident warranted that I be taken to the local hospital and receive 10 sutures. Some of my fondest memories are from times when I would travel from the Chipotle School in Wallingford, Connecticut to Penn Station located at West 34th Street in Manhattan, New York. And depending upon the time of day, I would go to the 2 Penn Plaza adjacent to the Madison Square Garden and go to the Buck Consulting office to visit Terry. She and many of her colleagues were always happy to see me and would provide me encouragement regarding my academic pursuits. During those brief visits, I had the opportunity to observe some sophisticated computer and key punch operations. My third oldest sibling, Diane, has provided a steadfast influence in my life. When I was in elementary school, I was amazed that she routinely received ribbons, medals, plaques, and trophies for her academic and athletic prowess. She would win at track and field events, ping pong, spelling bees, and Scrabble tournaments. Additionally, she was a force to be reckoned with when she competed in local and regional singing competitions. Playing board, word, and card games with Diane and family members fostered a friendly spirit of competition that remains engraved today. I like the thought of that because that's definitely why I have a lot of my board games. And my boys are just getting to the age where board games is exciting to them. And is all out, baby. I don't care who you is. You better win. Oh, shit, I lost my place. Oh, shit. Yeah, you better win. Play like you want to win, baby. Because I am. Playing board, word games, word and card games with Diane and family members fostered a friendly spirit of competition that remains engraved today. While playing Scrabble, prior to making a triple word score using all 7 letters, there would be a I don't know what this word is. I don't know what it is. Caesura. I want to say it's a Caesura. Caesura. There would be a Caesura as she were speaking, reciting poetry. Diane was a vocal artist and performed professionally with a band at the legendary Apollo Theater in Harlem and other venues in the Northeast. She was offered a contract to become a solo artist, but declined and stopped performing shortly thereafter. Observing Diane's work as a public servant, when she worked for the New York City Youth Board and later Youth Services Agency, the YSA, on Coney Island, provided a subconscious influence and motivation for me to later become a public servant. I saw firsthand the impact that she and her co-workers had on the youth that they served. And in September of 2013, Diane was among several noteworthy individuals that were honored for exemplary community service at a gala celebration in Brooklyn, New York. I, along with numerous others, including high-ranking New York officials, commend my sister for her dedication and tireless continued service for over 5 decades, working for the city of New York, providing senior... How can I help you?
Is that my chips, my blue ones there?
No, sir. Boy, you can't have that.
My red ones.
No, sir. Have you eaten lunch yet?
I ate one of the fruits though.
Oh, that's not lunch. Have you eaten lunch yet?
No, sir.
Okay. So what do you need to do since you haven't eaten lunch yet?
What? Wait.
Wait. Well, all this stuff, you know what you got to do already. You keep coming back and asking questions you already know the answer to. You can have your chips later. Have you eaten lunch? The answer is no, sir. You have not eaten lunch yet. So, but once you do eat your lunch, then you can have your bag of chips. It's not a problem. Okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now fix your eyes. Fix your face. Fix your eyes. This is nothing for you to cry about. This.
I was not trying to cry.
Okay.
That was not me trying to cry. I was not doing it.
Who was doing it then?
But
It's coming from your eyes. The tears are coming on your face from your eyes. See, this is part of the times when you need to learn to control your emotions. That's part of it. You did good. You did good for the most part, but this is not a crying moment. You came asked. You weren't told that you can't have it at all. You were just told to do what?
Wait.
That's right. So you see, whatever it is that's building up in you right now, yes, you need to breathe. Breathe. Deep breaths. In, out. Control your breathing. Control yourself. Control your mind. Control your emotions. Now, it's a hard thing to do. Not everybody can do it. Many struggle. But you still have a job to do. It's on you. There's nothing wrong with you crying, but you cry when you have reason to cry. Not getting what you want is not a reason to cry. You need to stand strong in that. Yes, sir, Daddy. I'll get it later after I eat. After I eat my lunch, Father. Don't cry about it. Dry your eyes. Fix your face. Gird up yourself. You got it. You can wait a little while longer. It's nothing. It's nothing to a man. Because you can do it. You can do it. Can you do it?
Yes, sir.
I know you can do it. Can you do it?
Yes, sir.
I know you can do it. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. There we go. I, along with numerous others, including high-ranking New York City officials, commend my sister for her dedication and tireless continued service for over 5 decades, working for the city of New York, providing senior secretarial and administrative functions for the Youth Board, the YSA, Child and Family Services Agency, and the Administration for Children's Services. Spencer, the fourth and last of my older siblings, was my only brother. Spencer loved to sing and would listen to music sung by the Delphonics, Dells, the Stylistics, and the Blue Notes, and other groups that inspired romance. My appreciation for love ballads was largely influenced from my brother, routinely listening to those classic ballads and singing along with the records. Although Spencer was not thrilled with classroom learning, he was able to acquire many skill sets and was influential to me as he demonstrated that anyone could learn to do anything from reading directions and following instructions on how to perform a task. He often told me, if you have the proper tools and follow the instructions, you can build and repair most things. Spencer was someone I could always count on, and as a result, emulated his best characteristics. As a result of being skilled in the martial arts, in that hi-ya, as a result of being skilled in the martial arts, he earned the respect of several neighborhood bullies and those who might routinely seek to cause conflict. During my preteen years, Spencer was a tutelary. Spencer was my tutelary. I wonder what that means too. Tutelary. I wonder if it has something to do with tutelage, tutoring. It probably does. But I'm not going to look it up right now. I'm just going to push through right quick. Since I can pronounce it, I'm going to push through. He taught me to never start trouble, but if a problem arose, to seek ways to de-escalate the problem, but if it could not be avoided, to defend myself. He would not allow anyone to disrespect him nor our family. Otherwise, he was the kindest and nicest person you could ever meet. Among his many acquired skills and self-learned accomplishments, Spencer was yes, sir. Yeah, is Man finished with his schoolwork yet? Okay. Yes, sir. Go ahead. You can make one. Hey, after he's done with his, switch out. If I'm not done reading, okay, roger that. Among his many acquired skills and self-learned accomplishments, Spencer was a certified locksmith, certified to repair radios and televisions, a licensed notary public, and was skilled at citizen radio band and shortwave communication. Spencer held occupations as an auto mechanic, an armored guard for Wells Fargo, a tow truck operator, and lastly, a New York City sanitation worker where he was employed long enough to retire with benefits. My brother, who was well liked by his peers, co-workers, and those who knew him, transitioned to join the ancestors several years ago. I miss my beloved brother dearly and will continue to cherish his memory forever. My cousin Ralph Malone, the eldest offspring of my mother's twin sister Mary, was considered by many to be quite sapient. Another word, sapient. What is sapient? I wonder if there's that shit that women be talking about, on them things, talking about I'm a sapiosexual. A sapient. I asked somebody that shit one day, what the hell that shit mean? Sapient. I never got an answer. Sapient. S-A-P-I-E-N-T. Let's see. S-A-P. Sapient. S-A-P. S-A-P-I-E-N-T. Right at the top. Sapient. wise, knowledgeable. Women don't want no sapiosexual. They don't really want no wise, knowledgeable man. Sapient. You're the sapient. You a sapient. He had an extensive vocabulary and was well versed in a plethora of topics, including science, mathematics, history, world politics, literature, poetry, music, and many others. He had an opinion and was armed with the facts and to substantiate his rationale. Ralph was a consummate reader and was certainly one of the most articulate people that I have ever encountered in my entire life. Those individuals whom we were well acquainted, with those of individuals whom were well acquainted with him did not address him by his birth name of Ralph. Instead, they called him Doc. At an early age, I was influenced by cousin Ralph because whenever I saw him, he usually had a book in hand. I would sit and listen to him converse with my father and others in the community regarding a wide range of subjects and for seemingly hours at a time. On the fall and winter weekend during the mid-1960s, cousin Ralph would come to my house, go into a bedroom, close the door, and watch the Syracuse University football game on the television. Syracuse was his favorite collegiate football team, and he did not want anyone to disturb him while he was watching the game. Let me be. After a while, I realized that this game of guys running up and down the grass field, tackling one another, was one of his favorite pastimes. I now recall that I could neither pronounce the name of the college nor understand the intricacies of the game of football. I was subliminally influenced by his unwavering support of his upstate New York football team, and I wondered why he would periodically talk or shout out as if someone inside the television screen could hear him. Run the damn ball, nigga! Run! Oh, shit. That's how they be at. Fire him. Oh, who hired that boy? Oh, they need to fire him too. People get into it in the football games. Oh, inside the television, look at him. Evidently, I was unknowingly influenced by his practice of verbal communication with an inanimate object, as I have the tendency to exhibit the same behavior when watching any of my favorite sports teams on television. I guess a lot of us grew up with people like that because I think a lot of us got that. I'll be talking to my phone, no damn well that thing don't talk back. You know, maybe not with Siri, but I'll never use that Terminator. You know, I don't talk to the Terminator. I just be telling them the phone like when it just be deleting messages, you know, on his own. I just be like, what? Come on now, my ball. Don't do me like that. I talk to my shit. It don't listen though. Like several of his peers and young men of color living in inner cities in general, during his informative years, come on with this sucker shit. My bad. I hate that shit. During his formative years, Ralph got caught up in an errant ways of street life, was incarcerated, and was remanded to New York State Penal Correction Facility. He served several months to several years away from his family on an occasion or two. And as one would suspect, he spent a lot of time reading while incarcerated. And when released after his last bid, he became a community advocate. Worded and served on the community advisor board for youth. I had the distinct privilege of being one of the handful of teenagers to participate as a member of ADHOC, group led by Raymond Brown and Ralph Malone. They taught us, the youth, Robert rules of law so that we would know how to conduct meetings and make decisions as a group. This was necessary training that would ensure that we could effectively interact and communicate with groups like ours from other communities, such as Crown Heights, when we attended several Empowerment Weekend conference trips. Ralph, or Doc, as I would refer to him when I became a young adult, influenced my life in ways that I am now just beginning to realize. If he saw me in the presence of a person or individuals that have unsavory reputations, he would be astonished. He would admonish me, His words to me on those few occasions were, "Don't be like me." He soon realized that I was a good judge of character and would not allow myself to get caught up in any negative activities or situation that could bring embarrassment or shame upon my family. I recall at least 2 times when he took me on to one of his favorite shoe stores, and purchased a pair of fine Italian shoes made by Verdi. I guess that's who that is. I don't know what that is. Verdi. My bad. I'm talking about this shit just what the hell it want to do. I had a special relationship with my cousin and was tasked by my mother to locate him and inform him that his beloved mother, Aunt Mary, had transitioned during the wee hours of that sorrowful morning. I would be remiss if I would forget to acknowledge that Doc was proud that I attended an elite preparatory school and went on to attend college at Syracuse University, as he held academics in high regard. The last time that I saw Doc, I was unable to have an open conversation with him, as I was accompanied by a friend of mine, Leonard, who was from Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, New York. And at that time, Doc told me that he would not be around much longer and that he would continue to live through me. Obviously, I was caught off guard by his assertion, and I thought that he was just giving me the business, as I had not seen nor reached out to him in a while. Instead of engaging him and conversing, I told him that I would be able to dialogue with him freely in a few weeks, since I was planning to come home for a brief visit. To my chagrin, that never came to pass, as Doc transitioned from pancreatic cancer a few weeks later. In death, as in life, my beloved cousin Ralph Doc Malone taught me that tomorrow is not promised for anyone, and that we should not put off things that we can do today for a later date. Dedication love letter. This love letter of dedication affords me the opportunity to cover the spectrums of time in my life by reaching back to the past, observing the present, and giving honor to those who will inhabit the future. I offer a prayer to honor those who have positively influenced my life. Sincere appreciation and thanks to my mom, Martha Davis, my dad, James Shivers, and the Creator, who gave me the breath of life. To all my siblings, in-laws, Dennis, Maureen, Lamont, Maurice, and their families, my lifelong friends, Lawrence and Baron Pack, Frank and Barry Rainer, Carsey, Alonzo Scales, Carl. I'm almost done, Bird. Carleton Gordon, Ronald Stewart, Clarence Williams, Jerry Rogers, Timothy Bradley, Sheldon Lurie, Gregory Fields, Lemuel B. Wilson, Ronald Peake, Raymond Cartwright, Stan Matthews, Ralph Henderson, and many others. Prayers of continued blessings to my beloved wife, Michelle, and our children, Davinia, Martin, Abdul, Destiny, and Malcolm Ali. I leave a prayer for prosperity and a legacy of success to you, as well as the grandchildren and great-grandchildren yet unborn, to maintain a connection from the ancestors of past generations on to future generations to come. Martin Davis. Has 35 years of professional experience in occupational health and safety. He has an occupational safety and health specialist for the Department of Veterans Affairs at the Brooklyn VA Medical Center, and then transferred to the U.S. Department of Labor Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, where he served as a field compliance officer, an associate area director, and a compliance assistant specialist. He later held roles as a principal consultant at Tech Safety Management Incorporation, and more recently with MedTech Services. At present, he is the principal of Assured Safety Management, where he serves as a safety and health management consultant, conducts work site audits and program assessments, conducts accident investigations upon request, and provides OSHA subject matter instructions. And that was Mr. Martin Davis. And we have read, that ends the two for the day. Mr. Martin Davis and Dr. Marie F. Celestin. Yeah. And Dr. Marie F. Celestin and Martin Davis. Those are the two for today. Or for right now, for this session of Reading with Shiloh. And the next session of Reading with Shiloh, we're going to do Stephen Hutchinson's and Ralph Henderson. Stephen Hutchinson and Ralph Henderson. Hey, we almost done, man. We are almost done with the book. Look at that. Look what we got left. Look at that little bit we got left. That's nothing. That's nothing. We're going to finish that. We might finish it tonight. We'll see. For sure, we're going to read two more later on tonight. We'll read two more. Like I said, Ralph Henderson and Stephen Hutchinson. That'll be read later on tonight. Maybe later on today. It depends on how I feel. But tonight, for sure, we'll read that tonight. And then we'll come back with Anthony Maria A.M. Noel. We got a couple. It's only like about 6. It's about 6 left. 6 people left to read about. And we'll do that later. We shall do that later. But this has been today's section of Reading with Shiloh, where we went over Who Blessed You? Speaking to the Children of Israel, curated by Mr. George Frazier, Stan Matthews, Azaniah Israel. Who blessed you? Who blessed you? Man, I hate that all these things are being deleted, because I'm not deleting any messages. It is the damn phone doing its own damn thing. But man, that's what it is, man. I hope y'all enjoyed today's reading, today's session. Hey, we'll be back next time. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. You have everything you need to succeed, man. If the Most High allowed you to open your eyes, to be able to hear, to be able to speak, to be able to, think and feel, then you have everything that you need to succeed for the day. So get your behind up and make some shit happen. Make some shit happen. Don't just be a hero. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't put off the things you can do today to tomorrow, as was quoted in this book. So we're going to keep pushing, though. One book at a time, one session at a time, one chapter at a time, one section at a time, one page at a time, one here a little, there a little, line upon line, until we figure out what it is that we can learn and grow from in each one of these books and try to apply it to our life to make us better people. And I'm going to keep doing my part as destroyer of the worlds by reading. If that's what them pink people think, that, oh Lord, the world gonna end because I'm reading, let it end. I'm gonna keep reading, bucko. Because I'm out here. And I'm gonna be out here. Oh, I'm gonna be out here. Oh, doing my thing. Doing my thing. Yeah. That's what it is, man. Until next time, man. Shalom, everybody. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Keep pushing throughout the day. Make good decisions. Make good choices, man. Make moves. Let's get that motion happening. Shalom, everybody. Hope y'all have a wonderful one. This is Reading with Shiloh. Shiloh out. Out.